Hi, I'm Dan with the Bale Seed Company. I'm the product manager for hard goods, structures, and equipment. I'd like to take a few moments to talk about the SB machinery product lines, particularly of this machine, the SB06. The SB06 is the most compact flat filler bale breaker on the market. It fits easily in a 4x4 area and can be easily stored anywhere in your greenhouse or off on the side. The original SB06 was produced for the smaller to mid-sized growers for the loose fill and filling capabilities, but we're also finding out that it works quite well for the larger production growers, that they can use this machine as a satellite when they're not using their main soil flat filling equipment. Sylvain Bourdon is the SB of the SB machinery. He's been producing greenhouse flat filling equipment for over 15 years. He first started doing it just for his neighbors. He saw that there was a need up in the Montreal, Quebec area, and he found that he had the knack for producing it. He's been welding and creating machinery throughout most of his life as he grew up in the greenhouse production. Sylvain found that he has a knack of looking at what needs to be done, what he can do, and how he can solve the problem. The SB06, as the complete line of all SB machinery, is covered by a 1-year warranty. That's for all manufactured parts, put together and assembled at St. Remy, Montreal, Quebec area. This is how the machine arrives, just as it is. After you unpallet and crate it and put it out in your greenhouse, it's as simple as just plugging into the wall, putting soil into the machine. The only setup of the machine is as simple as putting down the conveyor belt, unfolding it, putting the guide rail, simple as that. The machine's all set up. It's easy to fill it. Just open up the door. Have the ability to either bring the bag up, put it on top, open it up, roll it in, or the safety door actually turns into a platform where you actually bring the bag up, put it on top of it, slice it open, then roll it over, and continuously as that. First start off, make sure that the flat's actually in the center of the conveyor belt. Bringing it through. Putting the rail anywhere where you'd like to have on the conveyor belt. You don't necessarily need to have the guide rail, but it's a nice target for the employees to actually put the flat or pot somewhere specifically on the belt. There's two different adjustments of how much soil can be put into the flats or pots. It's a variable speed conveyor, and then also how much soil would actually go up into the auger. There's the trap door, which is controlled by a lever on the other side of the control panel. As the paddles bring the soil to the auger, the trap door allows a certain amount. It's basically a dam. This shows the paddle that pushes the soil to the opening of the auger. On top of the arm is also the pines that breaks up the bales. The SB06 has the ability to do 1,000 flats and pots per hour, but that's pretty much a breakneck speed, and it's very difficult for 3 people to keep up with something like that. 450 to 600 is very realistic. The SB06 is powered by 220 single phase, but there's actually 3 separate motors. The one motor drives the variable speed conveyor. The second motor on top actually drives the brush that cleans off the top of the flat or pot as it actually goes through the machine. And the third, the big power, which is the workhorse of the machine that brings the soil and breaks up the bale within the hopper, is a 3 horsepower electric motor. From the power coming in, it's breakered off to the 2 separate 110 motors, and then the 220 goes to the 3 horsepower motor. The first control is the on-off for the variable speed controller, which is then controlled by a different amperage of the variable speed. Second control is actually the main power, showing if it's on or off. The on and off works just as well with the safety buttons. There's one located on the breaker box, and then there's also another one located on the opposite side. So you don't necessarily need to have someone consistently standing next to the power box itself. And then finally, there's an option that is the vibrator. The vibrator is actually a panel that goes underneath the variable speed conveyor, and regardless if you order the vibrating option or not, the control will be there. But the vibrating plate gives that the little extra compaction for the smaller cells. So again, the SB06 does work quite well with plug trays. All machines come with the manual on-off valve that a 3/4 inch standard hose would be attached to. The water line goes through the base of the machine inside the auger as it cuts the water into the soil as the soil is coming out of the auger into the tray. By having the water go inside of the auger and not necessarily into the hopper, it specifically puts any amount of moisture that you wish to have into the soil. An option on the SB06 is a solenoid that the water would only be turned on when the machine is running. You wouldn't see the solenoid. It's actually inside the control box and is controlled underneath the machine. But all machines, regardless if you order the solenoid or not, comes with the manual on-off switch. The reason why you need to have moisture cut into the soil is that it not only cuts down on the dust and anything flying up, that's a comfort, but the main reason why you need to have moisture into your soil is to be able to water in your plants once you do plant it, have it out to your greenhouse. By having a slight moisture content, it allows the rest of the fertilizer and the water to evenly be distributed throughout the plant itself. At the end of the season or any time that you're not going to be using your machine, it's highly recommended to clean out the hopper so that there isn't any loose soil or anything that would be able to hold moisture in it. There's a trap door on the side. Swing it open, and as the machine's running, bring all the soil out and put a hose in and rinse it out. It cleans up very easily. Rigid hard rubber wheels come standard. There's an option of pneumatic wheels. The first tray that you start in a series, hold back slightly so it gets enough fill, and then after that, continues. Simple as that. We'll give it a higher quality, a uniform finish. From one end to a tray, it's all the same.
We saved much more soil than we ever did with the old one. And we've not had any problem with the auger. The auger is sizable and it feeds stuff back. And two of us can run what used to take in the days, half a day's time, what took us a day and a half to run. So we've enjoyed using the machine very much.
I want to show how easy it is to go from a standard flat to a 12-inch hanging basket. First step is adjusting the panels. And then the plow and roller for the compaction and the even fill. Again, about a ½ inch above it. Simple as that. In a matter of seconds, you can change from a standard flat to a hanging basket or any size container that you care to use. The only limitation is the size of the height of the brush that allows the container to go through. The height from the variable speed conveyor to the brush itself is 10 inches, so it does allow a standard 12-inch hanging basket to pass under through it. This machine does work very well with color bowls, 2 gallons to a 3-gallon pot. It's not recommended to use just the insert. You need to have the tray. If you have 4-inch pots, you need to use a shuttle tray. Well, this is your quick tour of the SB06 and its flat filling capabilities. If you have any other questions or you have any comments, please feel free to contact me at Bale through customer service. Or if you'd like to talk to the inventor, the manufacturer of all the flat filling machines, please contact Sylvain up in St. Remy.